This is AP Calculus AB. We are on self-check 4.1. There are 8 minutes to do this because there are 4 questions. You should be averaging about 2 minutes per question on the AP exam. All right, in number 1, I see that it's asking us to take the derivative with respect to x. I'm worried about that xy because I have multiplication happening, which means we are going to be invoking the product rule. Let's dive in. The 2 is going to come down in front when I do powerhouses. Is going to be 2x, and then the derivative of x is x prime, which we don't write. Plus, okay, everything that's going to be right here is going to be product rule. Product rule is 1d2 plus 2d1. 1 is going to be the x, d2 is y prime, plus 2 is going to be y, d1 is the derivative of x, which is just 1. Then I'm going to take the derivative of negative 3y, which is negative 3y prime. And then from there, I'm going to rewrite the equal to, and the derivative of 3 is just 0. As soon as you can, plug in your points. I have the x-coordinate is 2 and the y-coordinate is 1, and plug those in, meaning I'm going to get 2 times 2 plus x is going to be 2 again, 2y prime plus y, which is 1 times 1. I can say times 1 again, I suppose, minus 3y prime, and that's going to be equal to 0. Okay, let's simplify. I have 4 plus 2y prime plus 1 minus 3y prime. Combine like terms on the right-hand side, we have 5 plus, oh no, it's actually going to be a minus y prime. That's equal to 0. I'm going to add y prime to both sides, so I get 5 is equal to y prime. And it looks like our correct answer here is A. Then I move on to number 2. In number 2, I'm looking for, okay, I'm going to convert some things. So this one is really hard because you need to convert words into math for your very first step. I know that the radius is going to be increasing, so I know that r prime here is going to be some positive number, but that doesn't tell me what it is. I do know that the rate of the area, therefore, the rate of the area, I can underline that and say rate of the area means this is talking about a prime. So let me go ahead and write down a prime. If it says is numerically equal to, or if it just says is equal to, it doesn't need to be numerical. It is equal to, I'm going to literally write down what it tells me to. It told me to write down an equal to. Twice of something. Twice of something means 2 times that something. Twice of what? The rate of the increase of the circumference. This is not just circumference, it's the rate of the circumference, therefore it's C prime. Getting this written down from just words is really tricky. Now that I have that, what do I even do? Well, you also have to remember that if I have area prime for a circle, that's the same thing as circumference prime times the radius. If you're unclear on where this comes from, you can look at a previous video. I think this is discussed in 4-7, I want to say. Is that when we talked about related rates with circles? From here, I can say, hey, if this a prime, if this a prime is c prime times r, this a prime is also c prime times r. I replace it, right? I took all of that and I plugged it into our a prime over here. And that's going to be equal to 2 times c prime. And from here, I'm going to divide both sides by c prime. When I do that, the c primes are all gone, and I'm left over with radius is equal to 2. Correct answer here is D. Number 3, it gives us another word problem, another related rate problem. It says that the radius is increasing, so this is talking about r prime. Let me write down r prime. It's increasing at a rate of 0.3, so r prime is equal to 0.3. It also tells us that the surface area, not surface area prime, but just surface area is 100 pi. So surface area is equal to 100 pi. And I'm asked to find the rate, so it's going to be something prime, of the volume. So this is going to be v prime. That's what we're searching for. That's going to be my empty box to let me know that's what I'm searching for. Here we go. So I notice that I'm searching for v prime, and I'm only given a v. I need to take its derivative to find v prime. So v prime, I take the derivative of the left, therefore I take the derivative of the right. This 3 is going to come down in front, and the 3 is going to cross cancel with the numerator and denominator. 3 and 3 will cross cancel, leaving behind just a 4. It'll be 4 pi r. It'll go down from the power of 3 down to a power of 2. Don't forget your dinner. There's also an r prime in here. Now that we have everything, let's try to fill in everything that we have. So I'm going to say v prime, the thing that I'm trying to solve for, is equal to 4 times pi times, we don't know r. It's r squared times r prime. We know r prime, right? R prime over here is 0.3, so I can say times 0.3. The only thing that we need to do now is to find r. Well, I know that I've used this. I haven't used the surface area. So let me go ahead and rewrite our surface area. Surface area is equal to 4 pi r squared. And I happen to know that this s is this s, which is 100 pi. So I can say 100 pi here is equal to 4 pi r squared. And if you're super clever, you can take a shortcut right here and like, wait a sec, 4 pi r squared, that looks awfully familiar. I can replace all of that with just 100 pi. Okay, you're overly clever. Let me go ahead and pretend I didn't know that. From here, I'm just going to solve for r and say, okay, this is, I'm going to divide by pi on both sides. Watch me go. Pi is gone. Divide 4 on both sides, and now I get 25 is equal to r squared, and then square root that. It's technically plus or minus 5, but it doesn't make sense to have a negative radius, so I ignore the fact that there's a negative there. Hey, look, we are trying to find r. We found r. R is 5, so I can plug that in and say 5 now, and I can solve. I can say v prime is equal to, okay, well, 5 squared is 25. 25 times 4 is 100. This whole thing right here is 100 pi, and we could have taken that shortcut earlier, times 0.3. The number of zeros here tells you how many decimal places to move to the right. 1, 2, because there's 2 zeros, and you get 30 pi for our final answer. So v prime is equal to 30 pi, and therefore our correct answer here is E. Last question, number 4, we've got a right triangle. Let's go ahead and make a diagram. So here's my right triangle, make it nice and neat, ta-da. We'll say it is indeed a right triangle. All right, it tells me that the right angle is A. So there's my right angle, I'm gonna call it A. I guess I'm just gonna say B and C. I'm just putting those randomly. It's saying leg AB, talking about you, is decreasing. Okay, I need a variable here. I don't want to use A, B, and C. Those are already chosen. I mean, I could use lowercase, but let's just say X. Yeah, and therefore I need an X prime. And I'll say your Y. I'll need U and Y prime as well. And I need, I guess, Z, right? Z and Z prime. Sure, good enough for me. Okay, so it's saying that AB is decreasing. It's changing by 3, and it's decreasing, which is a negative word. So it's a negative 3 for our rate down here. I'll say X prime is a negative 3. The signs on this one are really important. If you don't get the signs, you will get the wrong answer. Next, it tells us that AC, talking about that leg right there, is increasing, that's a positive word, at 4. So therefore, Y prime, the rate number, is a positive 4. And then next it tells me that the hypotenuse BC is also changing. This Z prime is changing. We're asked to find that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's the box. That's what we're looking for. And it tells me AB is 12. AB, you are 12. And it tells me AC, you are 5. So we'll say AC is 5. Okay, so we have almost everything. We need to find that number before I can find my missing variable. Whenever you have 6 unknowns, you can only have 5 of them actually be unknown to find the 6th variable. I'm noticing that that's a Z, therefore I can make another triangle over here. Another right triangle. And I can say if I have a triangle that's not changing size, and the triangle is a 5 by 12 by something, I know my Pythagorean triples. One of the 3 that Mr. Sindel told me to memorize is a 5, 12, 13. If you don't have that memorized, you'll have to use the Pythagorean theorem and say 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to C squared, or I guess in this case it's Z, right? Is equal to Z squared, and then you can solve and get Z is equal to 13 either way. I don't want to do that. I just want to memorize a Pythagorean triple. We will, in self-check 4.2, need to have either a lot more Pythagorean triples memorized or learn how to use Pythagorean theorem correctly. Anyway, Z is 13 because I found the hypotenuse is 13. I can fill that in right now. And now I can use all my numbers in my formula. So my formula is going to say Y prime plus X prime is equal to Z prime. All right, filling in, I have 5 times 4 plus 12 times negative 3 is equal to 13 times my Z prime. That's going to be 20 minus 36 is equal to 13 Z prime. And then from there, I can simplify and say negative 16 is equal to a 13 Z prime. If I divide both sides by 13, I get a negative 16 over 13 is equal to my Z prime, the thing I was asked to find. So I need to say it's going down by 16 thirteenths. Decreasing is my downward, and then 16 thirteenths is the correct letter, the correct number. Therefore, our answer is B. So there are all of the answers. From the back, looking at the front. Thanks for watching.